Now that we've got our content in our project window, we need to make a comp or define the aspect ratio and size of our movie. So I'm going to go to the top of the interface, Composition, New Composition, and I'm going to choose just this tutorial web video 320 by 240, and I want the frame range to be 30 frames per second. And then I'm going to set the time for, maybe I'll set the time for a minute, which would be 1 and 4 zeros. And I'll hit return. And now I'm ready to start putting content into my timeline and my comp window. All right, so there are a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to go over to my project tab, and I'm going to grab share pen .jpg, and I'll drag it into my screen like so. That's one way to get that into the comp window. Now the other way is I can take that and I can drag it down into the timeline itself. That's another way to get that into my comp window. So either way is really up to you. It's your preference, but just be aware of that. Okay, so I've made a couple of changes here. So I've introduced my content, I've defined my window or my comp aspect ratio, and it's really a good idea at this point to save what we've done. So I'll go to File, and I'll go to Save As, and this is a really important point. I'm going to navigate to my folder, After Effects Tutorials. I'll double click to get into it. It's very important that you direct the saved AEP file to the folder with the content. So I'm going to give it a name. Call it AETutorialMovie. And I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to hide After Effects for a moment. And if I go into the folder, you'll see that the AE file with the format.aep is in the folder with the content. That's important to keep these files linked. Your photos, your audio are not embedded in the application file, so if in the event this is separate from its content, it breaks the link. So I just want to make sure that you do immediately save that in that way. We'll go back to After Effects. Now we're ready to take a look at some of the basic transforms here, but before we do that, let's take a look at the editing process inside our timeline. So I'm going to come down to my timeline, I'm going to click on it, and you see there's a blue line that surrounds it. And let's say for argument's sake that we want this clip to be 5 seconds long, be a 5 second long clip. I'm going to click on that. You'll notice that the value gets brighter with the selected clip. I want to be precise about this, so I'm going to go over to the corner of the timeline. I'm going to click on the series of zeros or number zeros you see over here, and they represent hours, left to right, hours, minutes, seconds, and then frames. All right, so if I want to be precise, I can put in 500, and that will put my playback precisely at 5 seconds. I want to clip it there. So I'm going to put my cursor at the very end of the timeline, and as I put my cursor over the end of that selected clip, it turns into a two-headed horizontal arrow. I'm going to click on it with the left mouse, hold it down, and drag. If I hold the Shift key as I approach the playback head now, it's going to snap precisely there. So we've just defined that clip to be on screen for 5 seconds. I'm going to hit Command S to save.